Arthur the Rat. Once there was a young rat named Arthur who could never make up his mind. Whenever his friend asked him if he would like to go out with them, he would only answer, "I don't know." He wouldn't say yes or no either. He would always shirk making a choice. His Aunt Helen said to him, "Now look here. No one is going to care for you if you carry on like this. You have no more mind than a blade of grass." One rainy day the rats heard a great noise in the loft. The pine rafters were all rotten, so that the barn was rather unsafe. At last the joist gave way and fell to the ground. The walls shook and all the rats' hair stood on end with fear and horror. "This won't do," said the captain. "I'll send out scouts to search for a new home." Within 5 hours the 10 scouts came back and said, "We found a stone house where there is room and board for us all. There is a kindly horse named Nelly, a cow, a calf, and a garden with an elm tree." The rats crawled out of their little houses and stood on the floor in a long line. Just then the old one saw Arthur. "Stop!" he ordered coarsely. "Are you coming, of course?" You are coming, of course." "I'm not certain," said Arthur, undaunted. "The roof may not come down yet." "Well," said the angry old rat, "we can't wait for you to join us. Right about face, march!" Arthur stood and watched them hurry away. "I think I'll go tomorrow," he calmly said to himself. "But then again, I don't know. It's so nice and snug here." That night there was a big crash. In the morning some men with some boys and girls rode up and looked at the barn. One of them moved a board and he saw a young rat, quite dead, half in and half out of his hole. Thus the shirker got his due. Kit. The quick little kitten thinks it bit a pretty big fish. Dress. Many of Jeff's best friends slept in mesh tents in pleasant weather. Trap. The harrowing black cat's dashed at any man and lands on the plaid carriage. Lot. The honest swan stops and acknowledges the fox dodging the bothered wasp. Strut. Mother loves sputter but comes from the southern countryside. Foot. The butcher should put the pudding in the wooden nook to cook. Bath. Can't half the staff ask to transfer to the enchanted castle in France? Cloth. Lawrence often offers Ross a Florida orange and horribly strong frothy Boston coffee. Nurse. The early bird preferred the earthy worm. Fleece. These unique machines teach people to speak and reason. Face. The raven waits until late day for the great wave to break. Palm. Father and Ma said to calm the facade in the Nevada Plaza. Thought. The small walrus caught the hawk in the salty water. Goat. The rose slowly grows in Owen's old grove. Goose. Beautiful music booms and humans move to the groove. Price. The shy writer types at night to fight the silence in my mind. Choice. The spoiled boy hoists the toy from the soil. Mouth. Mountains of flowers crowd the grounds about the house. Near. Deirdre's fear seriously interferes with her ideal career. Square. Beware of scarce fairies, rare mares and scary prairie bears. Start. The Sahara party marvels at the far star on the safari. North. Laura's warm aura reforms that Thor's horse for the important war. Force. The adorable boar snores hoarsely and notoriously hoards imported pork. Cure. The tourist endures rural tours of Europe and procures gourmet bourbon. Happy. The coffee, salami, spaghetti and macaroni are ready. Letter. Sugar covers the tiger's whiskers. Comma. Bertha's and Cinderella's saga is a drama. R. Richard, Wilbur and Harry are running around the treacherous river. L. Linda and Ali pull belly muscles laughing laboriously. ng or ng, ng. The singing mockingbird is swinging on the ring and dings the yawning. The thespians gather and breathe 3 authentic breaths together. H. Harry and Hilary happily harvest heaps of herbs behind the beehive. Yod. The cute, dutiful blue cuckoo resumes cooing suitable tunes enthusiastically. W. Will and Drew whistle when the wind blows between the whimsical weeping willows. Ing. Mrs. Fanning is walking and hiking in Wyoming. S. Susie lives in her sister's house on Easy Street with her Siamese cat and Siberian husky dogs.
And where were you born?
London, England.
And where were you raised?
London, England.
And where have you lived and how long have you lived there if you've ever moved?
Always lived in London, but different parts of London. So not huge horizons, went from one part of West London to another part of West London.
So the entire time West London?
West London, all the time. I love kids. And I suppose there's a bit of a performer in me. And teaching is all about performance for me. So it suited my temperament and my personality. So I liked it and I loved working with the kids. I love working. I couldn't stand the bureaucracy of it all, but I love working with kids. So there we go. Right, my father was an aircraft engineer and he did that for years, but then he was made redundant because we as a family, well, actually it was me and my sister as teenagers, wouldn't move to where, we wouldn't move out of London to where he was being relocated, the factory, the engineering place that he was working in was being relocated. So he then moved to work in the railways, Paddington Railway Station.
Still as an engineer?
No, as a guard then. And my mother never had full-time employment. She did part-time jobs. Once children were born, that was very often the case for that year group.
Yeah. And where were your parents from? Were they from London?
Kerry.
Oh.
In Ireland, both parents from Kerry in Ireland.
And when did they emigrate?
They emigrated. My father emigrated first, I would say about 1948. And then my mother came after Siobhan, my sister, was born. So she would have come to London maybe in 1950. And I was born in 52.
And what was the motivation for that, do you know?
They were economic migrants. Yeah.
What do you think the influences are on your accent?
My accent is a little different to the rest of my siblings because, well, we're London born and I haven't got a typical London accent. So, and that's because my mother sent me to elocution lessons. An elocution teacher came to the school and so she thought it would be very good for me to have elocution lessons. So I did a lot of how now, brown cow. Actually I loved it. I really enjoyed doing it. But it did change my accent. It changed how I pronounced my vowels. They were rounder and not so clipped or caught like maybe my siblings are slightly more. And plus I've done a lot of singing. And I've had a lot of singing lessons. And when you're singing, I like classical singing, it's a lot of vowels. You're singing through your vowels. And I think that's why my accent is the way it is. My vowels are maybe a little more rounded than other people. I particularly do not like hearing myself back, hearing my voice. I think, oh my God, is that me? That's not me, is it? I don't think I sound the way I do.
From a vocal quality or from an accent, pronunciation type?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
from the accent side.
Yeah, it's from the accent side. Yeah, it's very strange.
And what do you think about your voice?
My voice, I like my voice. I have generally when I'm relaxed, my voice is quite deep. Obviously pitch changes, but yeah, no, I like my voice. I've always liked my voice.
Singing.
I love singing, and I have the O'Connor jawline, but I call it my resonating chamber. And I always think great singers have a good resonating chamber. And actually, my father's family are really good singers, and this is where I bring this long face shape with the more prominent kind of jaw. But yeah,